All right.
Now, when was the last time you guys played? Was it last year, or have you played in between?
It was last year.
It was last year. Is that your only game you've ever played last year?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
We've played many Blitz games online, but never too seriously.
Right. Any of them the King's Gambit?
Probably. I mean, I was kind of expecting it today, but either that or the Evans Gambit or something quite aggressive. But
last year we had the Petrov.
That was a thriller.
Yeah, it was. I was going to say, Nigel, and I'm really glad you played F4. So you'd prepared for this, David?
Briefly and semi-seriously. I mean, I looked at it yesterday and looked at so many fantastic variations with peace sacrifices and things, and I just got a bit confused today.
Get the microphone.
Okay.
Can't hear you.
But yeah, I wasn't too surprised when he played F4, and I tried to pretend I was confident enough by blitzing out the next few moves.
Okay, let me just, before we go on here, I'll just tell you a little story about the King's Gambit. I was in Kazakhstan, in Almaty actually, in 2008 for the World Blitz Championship. And I was a commentator, and it was in between rounds, and I was sitting next to Alexander Morozevich, and he said to me, tell me what, Nigel, do you think I should play the King's Gambit? I said, well, of course. And he said, well, how do I equalize after E takes F4? And I wasn't able to answer that one, I'm afraid. But I'll just point out that Morozevich has played the King's Gambit a few times. He won a very beautiful game against Anand a number of years ago. But it is a bit dodgy. Well, it's not, I mean, if there are any children watching, I mean, just, you need parental guidance, I think, really, but with this, it's a dodgy opening.
Yeah, but Nigel, I seem to recall that Magnus actually played this earlier in the year and won a very beautiful game.
Actually, I also played it earlier this year. I played it against Giri in my match. And Ivanchuk has played the King's Gambit, and Nakamura has played the King's Gambit this year. So it's having a little bit of a revival, and none of those guys lost, by the way.
Polgar beat Topolov.
And Polgar, I forgot one of the most important games. Polgar beat Topolov. So, in fact, he's having a very, very good run. But the main advantage of the King's Gambit is there are so many refutations that he can't play them all at once. And, he's got this problem. He has to decide which one to go for, and then he loses on time. And that was my plan.
In all of my games.
That was my plan. I mean, I came within a whisker of bringing it off, But
okay, chaps.
So should we get a couple more moves in? Yeah. Okay. I mean, it was very nice there. Okay. This is a strong move. It's not the only one, but it's a good one. So this is the what's it called? Kizaritsky. Go on. Yeah, I prepared. Okay.
You don't have to reveal all your secrets.
No, I don't, and I won't. Please do. So, in fact, there are lots of moves. There are a huge number of moves there. I mean, D6 is one good move. Knight F6 is a good move. In fact, as I say, he's sort of winning in so many different ways. Okay, Bishop C4. And there is a sort of a fork in, Bishop D6 I think is more popular. And Bishop G7 is a good move.
Nigel, we have a very serious question here.
Yeah.
One of our co-commentators, not currently present at this table, suggested that you played this opening entirely based on a blitz game last night. I'm sorry, the audience will back me up. That was pretty much the gist of what we were getting. Was that not the case? I
I stuffed Lawrence, actually.
He didn't tell us the outcome of the game.
Crucified him.
Yeah, that was exactly. We pressed him to give us some more moves, and we'd forgotten.
No, he played Bishop D6. Yeah.
Sorry, can I just come in there? Because, David, these moves seem pretty normal, and yet after D4, he kind of went in for a big think here.
Yeah, because I'd spent most of my time yesterday looking at Bishop D6, and I concluded somehow that Bishop G7 was, well, to me it seemed more sensible, but I couldn't remember why, and after looking at so many, very complicated speculative variations, this seemed too normal to study in great detail, so, well, of course that was stupid on my part, but I couldn't remember here whether knight h5 castles or knight takes d5 was the move, because I'd looked at them all, and,
well, he surprised me with the next move. I must have been played, but I just, I couldn't, if I've seen it before, I didn't remember it. I'm just kind of, you take a pawn, it can't be too bad, can it? But there was, there was some game, knight h5, there was some game, there are various Grandmaster games in that line, and games from pre-Grandmaster times. Knight c6.
Nigel, we can't help but ask you about the move knight takes f7.
Well, I was thinking about it,
we were baying. The crowd was baying.
I know. I should have done it. Just, I'm ready to sing Bon Jovi, Going Down in a Blaze of Glory.
Moving on.
I know you don't like Bon Jovi.
I hate Bon Jovi. That big hair.
Oh, it's the big hair. That's it, yeah. No, I thought about it, actually, because, the key thing is that this bishop takes d4. I wasn't working.
Did you look at this?
I looked at it more while Nigel was thinking here than before I played knight c6, because I didn't realise it was
I thought he could go back, and maybe I should have done it, probably just continuing, but somehow, I don't know.
I was even looking at nonsense like king g6 instead of king 8.
Well, that was actually my defence. I was playing my king via g6 to h5.
Yeah, so you're trying to lose like Fressinet. Is that, with the, you saw my, it's in the program actually. He had his king coming out to g6, and he could have gone to h5.
I put my king on h5, and I did succeed in losing it. Seriously, we thought this was actually quite dangerous.
Well, it probably is. What do I do? C3 and just continue. Yeah, I can probably just continue very quietly.
Knight c3.
Knight c3. Maybe knight c3. But even just to play slowly, knight d2, knight e4. The important thing in these openings is just to pretend that material is equal. When you start panicking. Boris Spassky was just a brilliant King's Gambit player. As far as I'm aware, he never lost a single game in the King's Gambit. Beat Fischer and Karpov. And he didn't play it for that many times, actually. But tremendous results. And he just sort of didn't seem to bother. He just never counted the pieces and just continued playing moves. And I think this is what you need, because, you see, the problem is I'm a materialist. When I get my bank statements, I look at them, and when I look at this position here, I'm sort of counting, I'm sort of 2 points down, aren't I?
Nigel, you're a great loss to accountancy.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should have done that. Well, what I played was actually not completely boring either. There was a sort of, there was another possibility here. We could just take, and this was strange.
It seems more sensible, but that was the reason I rejected it.
Yeah, David doesn't go for sensible moves. And then just castling long, but
it's hard to find a plan here for that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, the bishop is not very good on G7, and the pawn